Welcome to the Matt Cottrell Report. These are the extraordinary stories of ordinary individuals. Today's guest hails from Dimmitt, Texas. He's had the deck stacked against him his entire life. He's never known what family is or a support system of any kind, as he and his brothers were in and out of foster care and group homes and sexually assaulted by their own father. He did 2 prison stints in the state of Texas, but he's turning over a new leaf because he wants more out of life. Introducing the resilient, the unbreakable, Benito Manriquez. You grew up, that kind of deal. Just give us a little bit of background.
Okay, so I'm from originally the 806 area.
806.
806.
Wait, is 806 includes what, like Lubbock,
Amarillo, and that area post. But I'm originally from Dimmitt, Texas, which is outside of. Oh man, I can't even think. Right, Hereford, Texas.
Okay, what's the population in Dimmitt?
Oh man, smaller than
like Wall or.
Lot smaller. No, maybe as small as Wall.
Okay,
maybe.
Yeah.
There's a little bit. We don't have no other bigger town near us.
Yeah, okay.
So, but I only was there for a moment, But then I'm a cook.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a cook ever since I got out of high school. I traveled. I was a foster child.
Yeah.
So I was moved around a lot as well. So I've seen a lot of Texas as well. I have 4 brothers. Originally I have 6 brothers.
Okay.
And 4 sisters, I believe.
Are you looking to elevate your brand with custom headwear? Custom business hats for high quality customized hats. Perfect for any business need. Whether it's for company branding or distinctive merchandise, we ensure that your brand gets the attention it deserves. Plus, we offer free quotes to help you get started. Visit our website at custombusinesshats.com. Custom Business Hats. We've got you covered. Hey guys, pardon the interruption, but if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button to show your support, we'd be very appreciative. Now back to the episode. How long did y'all grow up together for a while?
Okay, so me and my 3 brothers, or Chris, Joe, and Gilbert, we were raised together. The other, I did not know. I did not meet him till the year of 2003.
Okay, yeah.
So that was the first time I met my older brother, Hondo and Christian, my older sister, Rosa, then my 2 younger sisters, Chica and Gracie.
Okay.
So I didn't meet them till 2003.
Wow.
But it was awesome when I did meet them, though.
Yeah.
But my family here, we were distanced after the incident that happened with me and my family.
Well, do you mind telling us what happened?
So after we moved here, so my mom,
y'all moved to San Angelo?
Yeah,
okay.
My mom and my dad did not get along. I guess my mom stayed in Hereford, and we lived over there with them. And then my mom decided to do her thing and left us alone. We stayed in our house for 3 days by ourselves, me, Chris, and JoJo.
How old were you at the time?
I want to say I was the youngest at the time, so I was like 5.
What year about was this, do you think? Early 80s?
Right before, like 81, 82.
Yeah, okay.
So, or 83. Let's go 83 to be a safe side.
Yeah.
And then my grandmother then called my dad and told us we need to come back down here because my mom ain't trying to take care of us.
Yeah.
So that was the last thing I heard about my mom and my grandmother. Then
the last thing?
That was the last thing. Said that they took us away. This is my other grandmother here, my grandma Lola.
Okay.
So she took us in. My dad took us in. My dad actually been here for a while. He worked at the Wholesome Bakery that used to be here, and the Coca-Cola company that used to be here. So he was a truck driver doing his work here. And we stayed there for 3 years with my dad till my dad decided that a relationship of family was different, and unfortunately he raped 3 of us.
Really?
Yes. This was something that we were scared of it. We didn't want to tell nobody.
Yeah.
He didn't want us to tell nobody. He would bribe us with taking out to eat, getting us extravagant little gifts, just to keep us quiet. Because I mean, my grandmother is a real high Catholic lady.
Yeah.
Her other daughter is a really high Catholic lady. They have places in this town.
Yeah.
So, you know, tarnishing them may have, you know, be something bad for us.
Exactly.
So we were kept quiet for a while.
Yeah.
And then when my brother Jojo got raped again, he was sad and hurting. And me, I feel like it was my thing to step up. And we went to a church, and this church, we told them what happened, and they first didn't look at us. We thought we were joking around.
Wow.
They called us demons in church. They don't listen to us.
Whoa.
So they pulled us aside later on that day, and they asked us what happened. We explained that our dad was doing bad things to us, and then we have a little brother we're afraid of now. Yeah. And so they finally, DPS came in, separated us from my grandmother, and that was the person we didn't want to get separated from.
I know, yeah.
And, you know, that turned me and my little brother apart, because that's who we loved the most, was our grandmother.
That's right, yeah.
So, and my Chris and JoJo, they loved their mom, but they loved dad more. So this was hurting them the most, too, as well. We were separated. We got put in an emergency shelter here for about a month or two. Wow. Then they couldn't find nobody who wanted to raise 4 boys. Right. I mean, we're in not in our teens yet, but we're getting there.
Oh, how old were you at this time?
I want to say I was 6, 7, and 8. That's our ages.
And just to back up a hair, I just want to talk a little bit about that situation, if you can. So what do you think, if you had to say, I know you were young, but if you could pinpoint it, what possessed your father to do that? Was it alcohol-induced, drug-induced,
you know
or what was it?
My father was always portrayed in my eyes as a good man. He was really respectable. The whole family loved him. Yeah? He wasn't, I mean, he drank. My grandmother drank. I mean, if anybody was an alcoholic, it was my grandmother. Okay. You know? Yeah. But to me, he wasn't drunk. I think it was a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because over the years of my life being back here in town, I found some stuff that my dad had evaluations to make sure he was mentally fit to raise us at his own. Right. But, you know, they said he was, but there were some things that he felt that considered mentally retarded. Yeah, okay. So like acute mental retardation. Okay, yeah. So interesting, yeah. So that could have been something triggered. Maybe he was drunk during these times. I can't tell you that. Yeah. I remember as a child that it was very uncomfortable when he kept on doing these things. Was it a subtle thing that trying to, you know, persuade you, or was it like a violent, fast thing? No, I think it's more of a persuade, but forceful. Okay. So, you know, he made us do it. Yeah. And then, but he was trying to be as kind as possible about telling us, you know, this is normal. Right. I see. You know, and we knew it wasn't normal because we felt it wasn't
interesting. Normal. Even as a young kid, you knew that.
We knew that wasn't right. Yeah. You know, and when we were put in DPS, they would put us in rooms and ask us these uncomfortable questions, but we already was trying to tell them, but they kept on, you know, repeating. Yeah. You know, my dad ended up doing 10-year probation for it. Oh, wow. Okay. He successfully did it.
That's good. Yeah.
I mean, he did his tithes. He paid his, at the time he finished his probation, it was the time I graduated high school.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And I got to be out here when he was getting released, because he was not allowed to see us.
Oh, wow. He wasn't.
Not during that time he was on probation.
Yeah, okay.
So that's one reason we couldn't go back to our dad.
I see. Yeah.
And we lived in Boys Ranch. I lived at an orphanage in San Antonio. Wow. I had like 3 foster families in my lifetime.
What was that like, your foster care experience overall? I mean,
my first foster parents were here in San Angelo. They had raised 4 boys of their own already.
Oh, wow.
So at this time, this was the year 91, I want to say, excuse me. Yeah. And they accepted the challenge of raising the Manriques boys. Okay. Because I mean, we were a handful. I mean, my brother JoJo and my brother Chris probably have bad ADHD as well.
Were y'all ever diagnosed with that?
I think we were, but you know, back in the day,
it's hard to know. Yeah, you were in foster care.
Yeah,
who knows?
Back in the day, they just throw you to the side and just let you go. They get the payment, whatever. Yeah. I get it now. I mean, we were in a beginning system. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
Some systems became up like CASA. During that time, I was one of the first in this town to have CASA.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, and my foster mom was one of them.
Oh, wow.
So,
how was that? The Casa experience?
It was cool, but they really don't associate. Like I said, we were new at it.
Okay.
We would go into its meetings and talk about our situations, but again, I was still maybe 14, maybe 15 years old, 14, 13.
Yeah.
So I'm still learning it myself. You
Right.
know, I don't know nothing. I'm just like, leave me alone. I want to go my way.
Exactly. Yeah.
But being there, though, the experience of having somebody take care of us was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And it helped us, though, a little bit. We got to be in the neighborhood. We felt normal.
Yeah.
In foster care.
Yeah.
I mean, foster homes.
Right.
Different than West Texas Boys Ranch or the orphanage, where you're labeled as an orphan.
That's right.
Whereas a boys rancher.
Yeah.
You know, so then they treat you totally different. They don't aside you as a family person.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that was my problem as a growing up. I did not have a family structure.
Yeah.
Ever since my dad ruined it, I still to this day don't have a family structure.
That's right. Yeah.
So, I mean, I blame him for it, but I've learned also I fed into it as well.
Yeah.
But, really, I did not have
That's right.
an idea of one.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted
no example of it. Yeah.
All my life I wanted one.
Right. Yeah.
But didn't get to have blessed with that.
That's right.
But that's okay, because there's later on in my life, I got blessed with a lot more.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's good with that.
Yeah.
But on the hindsight, I'm like, that sucks, because I really didn't want to be in foster care. I really wanted to be with my aunts and my uncles.
Yeah.
I had cool aunts and uncles that I really adored and admired.
Yeah.
But to my back of my head, because who I am, I'm always going to feel they talk bad about me because they never got to show up. They never called me. They never associated me with me while I was in foster care.
Wow.
You know, and they can say they don't know, but you could, but it's different compared to now. We can pick up our phone today and find out.
Yeah.
Back in a hard time, 80s, 90s.
That's true. A lot
you
harder
really
to
didn't
find
know
out.
where they sent my.
That's true. A lot harder to find out.
So, I mean, I get it, but there's some other ways.
That's true. Yeah, they could have.
I mean,
so how do you think that affected you overall? I mean, not having that family structure, and I know you always longed for that, but in what other ways did it affect you?
I became disassociated with everybody. I detached from people.
Okay.
I grew out of because I was a very what they call me back in the day, inquisitive. I was an inquisitive kid.
Yeah.
I had questions. I was interested. I was trying to get people happy because I was trying to fit in.
Yeah.
But then once I realized I couldn't fit in because what I didn't have behind me.
Yeah.
Family.
Right.
A lot of people put me into the side, consider me a weirdo or the weird guy. That's a base what I always got. The weird guy, weird dude. But I had to earn my respect with everybody I've ever encountered.
That's right.
I couldn't just be a fit in because he can or he has socially grew up with these people. No, I had always every time I move around, I had to fit into somebody's circle, and
always behind the curve a little, always having to catch up some way.
And what makes me mad, though, I mean, it made me a better me. I've learned to adapt to every culture.
That's true.
Every person's personality, from rich people, gangsters to hips to skaters.
That's
golf.
true.
I have hanged out with them all.
Yeah.
And I learned who they are, and it helped me understand what I can be.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, but I didn't, like I said, I didn't pursue anything because I messed up.
Yeah.
I broke into somebody's building and
so talk about that. So after high school, talk about what led up to the getting in a little bit of legal trouble and all that, and how that sort of changed the trajectory of your life.
So after graduation, I got a scholarship from being in foster care. Yeah. So they gave me a scholarship. I also got some correct points and credit to go to TCU.
Nice.
But I had to finish some courses here in Howard Junior College first.
Yeah.
So I was doing that, but I was hanging out with the wrong crowd here around ASU area. I found some people, some strippers, some thugs, and I liked them, because I'm trying to fit in somewhere.
Yeah.
They were daring somebody to break into a building that just recently got raided.
Oh, really?
They got raided over some cocaine and some other drugs.
Yeah.
So we all knew about it. We saw it on the news, but someone said there's a way in there, and they just want to find out.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, I dared myself. I didn't tell nobody.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do it myself. And so a couple of nights later.
Oh, this is just you alone?
Yeah. And I found an entrance. So it took me 3 days to clean that whole entire place out.
What all did you find?
CDs, cassettes, records, It was pretty much he was selling music albums.
Okay.
And records.
Yeah.
So I sold all that. I think when after the end of the all, I found out it was like over $8,000 worth of merchandise I sold. So I cleaned it up, I brought it out, and I tagged the place up and left. I sold some stuff on the streets, made some good money, traded off some, and I was doing good. 5 months later, somebody snitched me out off of Crime Stoppers.
Really? Yeah. How'd they know it was you?
It was on Crime Stoppers.
Like how'd they get the lead? Or
what I'm understanding, somebody was one of the females I sell some stuff to.
Oh, I see.
So I guess they just wanted some money.
Right.
Well, regardless, it was my consequences of my actions, So I've always looked at it as a dummy. That was my dummy moments. And,
right.
But, at the time, I was daring myself to do things like that because it was my only thing I could fit in for. Because I tried to hang out with the college students, but like I told you, they looked at me as a weird person because I have ADD.
Yeah.
I'm ADHD. I'm hyper. I'm weird. I'll say weird stuff just because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I should be a comedian, but not.
Yeah.
Stop. Don't be funny.
Yeah. So ADD, you've never technically been diagnosed that you know of or put on medication for it, right?
I was put on medication when I was in high school.
How did that help?
Junior high. It didn't. Because I sold it.
Really?
I made me too tired, made me sleepy.
Yeah.
And I just sold it off to people, and I just played it off. It was just some.
Was it Adderall or something like that, or Ritalin?
It was Ritalin.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it was like 15 milligrams or something like that. I just gave it to people at school. They loved it, and I didn't.
Sure.
I affected
that didn't
me
work for you. It didn't work for your ADD.
It didn't work for me because I didn't try it.
Oh.
Like I said, now when I did, it just like two, 3 times.
Right.
I'm like, no.
But you feel you didn't give it a real chance.
I didn't give it a real chance. Exactly.
So do you think now, if you were treated and you were given a medication or something, do you think it would help, a medication, or do you think something else would be a better way to treat it, or what?
Well, like my family and my culture, we don't believe in medicine, modern medicine. Yeah. We believe in the healing of the nature medicine. Yeah. So I still don't like taking ibuprofen sometimes.
Wow, yeah.
Because when the headache's really real, I'll find it and I'll get it, I'll take it. But
yeah, sure.
I'll go through it or just deal with the headache.
Right, yeah.
So
you don't want to be put on medication for it or anything? Okay, yeah. Some people think of their ADD or ADHD as a superpower. If it's channeled the right way, it can be a benefit to you, if you use it the right way. It's my distraction. Yeah.
It's my Murphy's Law.
Right, yeah.
It's my wish I didn't have. Because I'm clumsy. People think I'm doing it on purpose. It's not. It's ADHD.
Yeah.
When you tell me something and I'm trying to focus on you, what you're trying to say, it's not because I'm trying to understand what you're trying to say to me.
Okay, yeah.
But it takes a little moment, and then I feel weird or dumb because I couldn't catch on. And I'm like, oh, dumbass, I knew that.
I see, yeah.
And so it's been a hinder. And I thought it was just something else. And I can't blame that because, I can fix it.
Yeah.
But what can you fix what you really don't know really?
Exactly. So how else does it affect your life? I mean, what about, do you have trouble finishing projects when you start them, that kind of deal? Okay.
I can do things real quick and then I burnt out on it.
Okay.
I'm like, ugh.
I see.
I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I can start a project and it's a good project and the good ideas are flowing like crazy, but I'm not catching up with my hands or my pencils or my pens are not, and I can't read my writing now. Yeah. Because I'm trying to understand what I'm saying. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm done.
Okay, I see.
Or at work, I'm very forgetful. It's not good when you're trying to move really quick with the line. And I'm in the simplest area. And sometimes I'll just go, what did he ask? Is it beef or chicken? That's all I have to worry about. Yeah. Or add little veggies.
Right.
But I'm here messing up because I can't hear or remember what they're saying. And it's they're not their, it's not their fault. Yeah. It's pretty much me not hearing right, and then I forget, and I'm like over here debating what do I put, and here they come, another 3 or 4 orders coming in right now.
Well, talk about that a little bit. Your job at Henry's, right? Henry's.
I work at Henry's. Yes.
Yeah. How long have you been there?
Since I came to town in December last 2 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I worked there as well. We talked about this.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We did. And I talked to somebody. He's Adam.
Yeah, Adam. Yeah.
I told him about me doing this, and he's like, "Whoa, okay, who? Matt? I remember Matt." And he's like, "Yeah,
that's cool."
So, he does remember me.
Yeah, he's cool. So, what's it like at Henry's? I mean, I haven't been there in a while. Is it still really fast paced?
Fast paced.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you're a cook now.
I started as a chip guy.
Yeah. Okay.
And I liked it, and it was easy. My little circle, people started liking what I did. The manager asked me if I wanted to go into the line.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. The first time I did, I quit though because me and a couple of the cooks couldn't be on the same level.
I see. Yeah.
So, but then they called me back a month later. So I did come back, and I went back. They wanted me a busser.
Yeah.
But I realized that chip area was like the perfect spot for me.
Really? How come?
It was my pace.
Oh, okay.
I'm not on their pace.
Did you ever make the? We had a chip dude one time. I forget his name, older dude, but he would always make what are they called? Those little tortillas? Yeah, the sopapilla things. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd make them too.
Yeah, with the chip ones, like the chip ones. You know what I'm saying? You make
the bowls.
Yeah.
We made them.
Okay, yeah.
So I was there for about another year because I told them I wanted to be there, and they put me there.
Yeah.
And then there's like since October I've been the cook now.
What where are you at back there?
I'm on the quesadillas.
Is that
tortillas,
yeah?
bread.
So you're responsible for all quesadillas.
I want to say all because there's time I'm not there.
Okay.
Because
what else are you responsible for?
So you're the reason why it's soggy at quesadillas. You're the reason. Okay, we're gonna put some threats
You're the
on
quesadilla
you.
guy. Okay, all right.
So be cautious. I really work under stressful conditions.
Man, we might even label this episode the quesadilla guy.
Don't do that. Don't do it because they used to call me the chip guy. And
really?
Yeah, that was a lot of responsibility. I didn't want to be known that.
Yeah.
And the guac guy. I made the guac.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The chip person does the guac. Yeah.
Beautiful job though.
That's a fun thing to do.
Thank you for the tips. They made me happy.
I love that there.
But
yeah. But you liked that. But
I like restaurants.
I do too. I'll tell you why in a minute. But behind the or on the line as a cook, it's real fast paced. And I know this. The cooks at Henry's have been there a long time, and you respect those guys because they're through fire and all kinds of stuff. I mean, they go through, you name it. I mean, when it gets crazy there, I've never seen a restaurant that was that insane, man. Like plates flying out the windows, people scream. I mean, I even got into a little altercation with somebody because it was so heated in the kitchen at one point.
Yeah.
That happens. So how is that for you with your ADD? I mean, are you able to handle that fast-paced environment?
Okay, so I tried to be on the line caller because they wanted to see how I did it. But my I have speech impediment too.
Okay.
So I try to do that and try to be fast, and my mind doing the same thing. So everything's moving too fast for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm under pressure, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But I feel like it personally, and so I'm messing up left and right, calling wrong orders, So I decided, or I forced myself not to do that because that dude wanted me on the line like that.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, no, I'll just stay on the quesadillas, and I'll just shut the fuck up,
right?
And just be over there.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I mean, I help out everybody when I need to be helped out because I know that's I can do.
Okay. Yeah.
But as being a shot caller, line caller,
I see.
No, I have a very, very bad speech impediment.
Okay.
And I fought that for years to learn to control it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I like talking.
Yeah.
And my sister can tell you, God, he talks too much.
Yeah.
But then he'll start slurring. I start slurring, and I won't catch it till you're slurring.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So.
What was your relationship, or what is your relationship like with your brothers? Were y'all always pretty close?
So right now, at this very current moment, me and my older brother Chris are dealing a court case right now because we had an altercation here in May.
Take us through that. Like, talk about exactly what happened.
I come back to town in December.
Where were you?
I was in Lubbock.
Okay.
And I decided to come back down. And I decided, me and my big brother Chris can do it because my brother has a certain check that he gets monthly. Mm-hmm. And if I work and have both of us try to build
That's
up
right.
those
it's a good plan.
We would go and do somewhere.
Yeah.
And he thought it was a good idea, but then he started changing his mind because I told him, look, I smoke weed. Mm-hmm. And I need you to quit smoking this.
Yeah.
People, I'm not doing it. He gets so defensive about his addiction.
Right.
So, I believed him.
Yeah.
I'll take a word from him first.
What, he said he stopped?
That he's not on it and he's doing it. You can tell the way people are on it.
You can.
Their personality, their faces, their movements.
Yeah.
So one day I'm pushing him to get Henry to have him work with me. Mm-hmm. Henry's like, no, I know your brother. They know him because of other things.
Yeah.
But He wouldn't. But I was like, man, I can change him. I'm working with him.
Yeah.
I got him an apartment. I got him an ID.
Yeah.
On the last 3 months,
wow.
I got him all that.
Really? Yeah.
And then I'm like, how you don't have money for the rent? I had you just right enough to get in rent. And I'm frustrated about this. He's messing up. He gets the job at Henry's.
He did?
After 4 weeks, Henry folded in.
No way.
And I was going to be responsible for him. He's going to be in dish room.
Yeah.
He only lasted 1 week.
What happened?
Henry was told. I told you.
What? Yeah, but what did he do? What happened?
He just didn't want to be there. My brother, he had money. Then he went to go get. I mean, he made easy money by sitting on his bed.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he was just. There was extra money that I was telling him he can get.
Right.
But.
Yeah, I see.
I caught him in the action of being drunk, in his drunkenness, his addiction.
Okay, he was using,
and I didn't see him using. He was
okay.
just looks like he was. Sure. And I came to bring him some food.
Yeah.
And
you called him out.
I called him out. He got up, kind of charged at me, but I knowing that he's weak enough, I shouldn't jumped at him, but I did because he came a little bit at me.
Yeah.
I jumped on him, welled on him a couple of times, and I saw a little blood coming out of his nose. So I stopped.
Yeah.
I got him up, picked him up. He's all mad. He wanted to run out the door. I said, no, Chris, we need to chill out.
Yeah.
Let me clean your face.
Yeah.
And let's talk about it. I'm scared of you. I know you're scared of me.
Yeah.
But I didn't want you to be scared of me. I want you to be right with me when we get shit done.
Yeah.
But no, here you are. You are so literally fucked right now.
Yeah. So
what?
Yeah.
I left it alone. He called the police.
He did?
They found me. They put me in jail, saying that he puts charges. And then because this is my second felony, I mean, if this domestic felony, it became a third-degree felony.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I'm a felon already, a 2-time felon.
Okay, yeah.
So they enhanced it 25 years.
Wow.
I was looking at 25. They dropped it down to 6-year probation.
They did?
Yes, but that's
fantastic. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I told them that I shouldn't be getting nothing. Why am I going to have to pay the system?
Dude, that's great news, though.
It is.
I know you don't want to do that. Here's what bothers me about the whole situation. What bothers me about it is, yes, I know you have a past, you've gotten in trouble, 2-time felon, all that. But at the end of the day, it's 2 brothers fighting. Like, that's going to, I mean, I know you're adults. I know that. And at the end of the day, if you look at the situation, you're trying to help your brother, you know what I mean? Trying to get him off drugs. And yes, y'all had an altercation, but that happens between siblings. Like, this shouldn't be something where your freedom is at stake, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
I do.
And so it's a little crazy to me. So I'm at least glad to hear they dropped it down to that. But what are they requiring for the probation? Is it pretty intensive?
Well, yeah, pretty much the basic stuff, pay the fees, go to the community service. And I'm like, look, y'all want me to go to prison literally because I've done this already. Mm-hmm. I am prone to mess up.
Yeah.
Why are you setting me up for failure? I'm innocent for this in the first place. I don't even need to pay y'all, the state. Mm-hmm. I barely can pay what I'm living on now. Mm-hmm. But then you want me to throw extra money your way?
Yeah,
no, I have to fight it. I can't. That's why we're going to this psych evaluation.
Good.
So at least they can see that. What I feel is my brother and I don't care who he is. He's my brother. I'm going to look out for him. Mm-hmm. But these altercations are because, you know what? My brother's mentally unstable as well. We're both mentally unstable, and we're trying to do something.
Yes.
And we don't know how to do it.
What I respect about you is this. I really respect the fact that even though you found yourself in hot water and all these things are adding up and adding to your plate, been through foster care, all that, somehow, somewhere along the way, you've figured out that you've got to take responsibility. So I met you in the ADAC outpatient, right? Yes, which you didn't have to do.
Nope.
And what I found out is you were there because all this nonsense, right? You're trying to do what you can to show, look, I'm taking the right steps, doing the things that I need to do to get better, pushing back against this charge, which I'm so glad to find out that happened. But you're continuing to push and say, hey, look, I don't even need to do that. So they're giving you the psych evaluation. You're here to talk about it. So you're taking steps, man. And a lot of people don't do that. They just blame. You know, it's their fault. I'm just screwed. No, you're taking steps to make it happen.
Man,
dude.
I mean, I want to, but then I've done that self-pity world.
Right.
And I've seen that there's no one's going to step up.
That's right. No one's coming to save you.
They say they do, but all they're going to do is do what we're doing now.
That's right.
I mean, it can help certain people.
Right.
Like me, it helps. But there's some people just talk ain't going to be the one to help.
That's right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
and then the outcomes are very sad, very tragic. And I'm not that person, but I could fit that dang category like a mug.
Yeah.
I've seen enough TV shows and movies that I fit the profile of a serial killer or a dumb idiot who gets in jail because of dumb things.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm glad I ain't. Because you know what, the stuff I've learned has helped me become a better person now.
Yeah.
And that's what we're supposed to do all long ago, as we learn from the Bible.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to screw up, but after you turn 19, everything falls upon you, not your parents.
Yeah.
And you got to make that decision.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to make that.
You do. You got to figure it out.
If you do, you got to face that consequence.
That's right. So, man, so what? Where's your brother now? Do you know?
So he's on the street somewhere right now.
Okay.
Probably still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But the lawyers have told me to stay away from him. So I have people
checking on him and stuff. Yeah, so that's cool.
I do know he's out there. He's doing all right, and I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I also have my other brother JoJo, who I don't talk much about. He's in a group home right now to this day. Wow. Been in a group home since he was freaking 8 years old.
Really? How old is he now?
He is now. I'm 48. He's 49.
So he's in what kind of group home?
For mental disorder, mental challenged people.
You never get to see him.
Right? I try, but there's so many loopholes and I have to jump.
Yeah.
And my brother goes through so many different counselors, so many different members of who's supposed to be watching him. They go through so many people, so many group homes. So it's hard to stay up with him.
Yeah.
I'm tagging him right now. I mean, he calls me constantly every day at work. He hasn't called me yet today, but wait till 5 o'clock. He's going to start booming my phone.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And I get mad about it, but I think it's adorable because I know I'll be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I would be blowing your phone when I your texts.
Yeah.
I want your attention.
Exactly.
And that's what he is doing.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry because I'm the only person in his Uncle Raymond. But he tells me Uncle Raymond don't answer the phone much. But I try to because I know that I'm the other person left.
Yeah.
And I know, like I'm in my own little lonely boat. I don't go on out party.
Right.
I come home and I do nothing else.
Yeah.
These little phone calls from him, if I'm going to answer for him, and that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know he tells me he's happier when I'm there.
Yeah.
When I used to be able to go there until this case came in my back.
Yeah.
I can't go see him because of the case.
Right. Okay.
They're waiting for the outcome.
Yeah.
So I can be able to see him or not.
I see.
And when I did go see a JoJo, I only could see him at the house.
I see.
I can't take him out. Can't do any of that. That's not in the protocol because I'm a convict.
Yeah.
I mean, being a convict has stopped a lot of my ability to do things. I have great job skills that would have been great for me to do. But I made the wrong step when I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
So that have hindered me a lot.
Yeah.
And don't think I just lived on the street because I did, but I didn't do the drugs.
Yeah, that's good.
Wasn't an alcoholic.
Come?
I was scared to.
Yeah.
I saw everybody else around me.
Right.
And I was scared to do any of those.
Yeah.
And the one thing that's funny is that everybody hates is that smoking weed. It was the only thing I felt that was comfortable for me to do.
Yeah.
But, it was too expensive for my pocket.
Yeah.
I was homeless. I can't just afford weed.
Right.
Excuse me. So, that was the last thing. The only thing I did bad was Mad Dog at one time. But then
what's that?
Mad Dog 22.
Oh, Mad Dog? Yeah.
That was my thing.
I got some stories about that, actually.
We probably have all those Z-Nex.
Yeah. There was a party in college we had called Mad Dog and Boone's. And it was just Mad Dog 2020 and Boone's Farm is all that's at the party. No. And I never have thrown up more in my life, dude.
So many color vomits.
I know, right? Yeah. It was, dude. Yeah. I remember it. So these older dudes they were forcing me to drink. And we were having a good time, but they set a huge trash can next to me, like a restaurant size trash. And I said, what's that for? And they're no, nothing. They keep making me chug. And then soon enough, I knew what that trash can was for. Yeah. Bright colors coming out. Yeah.
Don't drink it though. Calm down,
I know.
people. Shoot.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude.
So, but K2 was my worst.
Oh, shut up! You got into K2?
Yeah.
Talk about that. That's interesting.
So that was maybe my reason I was really out of it between 2000 and. So the craving was
04, 05, something like that, or
no,
later?
Actually 12. I think 2012 or 11. I was starting it on 2011. Me and my nephews in Amarillo.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time you tried it?
Yeah, because I called my brother. I told him, come check this stuff out. I need you to watch me. I'm going to try this pack.
Okay.
Okay, too. He said, what it is fake weed.
Yeah.
But they say it's supposed to be legal because I was on probation.
Right.
And I need piss clean test.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this says it's supposed to not be in your
Exactly.
urine.
Yeah.
So I tested it out. My brother was going to be watching.
How was it?
He said I acted normal.
Really?
But when he tried it, he looked like a dope fiend looking out every window, hoping
made him more paranoid.
Yeah, made him very paranoid. And he's like, Benito, what you put in this? I said, bro, I did not put nothing in it.
Yeah.
To me, it didn't affect me like that at first.
Yeah.
But then it started to affect me worse and worse. And there was time I became a fiend. I would steal for this stuff. Yeah. I would save all the crumbs and stuff just to make sure I had some. If I didn't, me and my little brother would do this. We would have piles of extra stuff.
Yeah,
we would save up $4 or $5 to go to get. I'm going to take credit on one store that became so big.
Yeah,
because I met the owner and I told him about this product, and he used to run a flea market in Lubbock, and I told him about this, so he started selling it. Now he's one of the biggest head shops here in the West Texas area. Wow. It's called Manhunters.
Headhunters? Yeah.
He started in Lubbock.
Headhunters, really?
Yeah, and I worked with the flea market. And
That's crazy.
When that big craze of you were starting to see head shops everywhere, I told him about that.
Wow.
And then he had this flea market, and I said, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
And now he's here in town.
Yeah.
I remember him being over there.
That's crazy, yeah. So K2, man, I had a friend who never did a drug in his life until he was 24 years old. Best friend. And he started drinking a little bit. But then he tried weed and he loved it. But then he switched to K2. And what happened is, just like you're saying, it progressed to the point where he did start getting paranoid and fiending for it. And it progressed so bad that he ended up getting what they termed drug-induced schizophrenia.
Wow.
And it was horrible, man. He became homeless. He became unrecognizable. Couldn't carry a conversation with him. Thought spirits and God were talking to him. All these things. And he ended up shooting himself on Valentine's Day of 2013 from that damn drug, dude.
Okay, so I agree. This thing was very potent like that. Yeah. That dangerous. Because I've hallucinated.
Really?
I even wrote me a dark screenplay because of it.
Yeah.
I had a musical scene with the devil.
Whoa.
I had another musical scene with dancing bones.
Yeah.
So I mean, that stuff was pretty bad to me. I've seen guys fall on their knees talking to God. I've seen people go into little seizures and almost into a very bad situation.
How do you think it's different from weed? What about it is different?
The chemicals.
Yeah, I know
it wasn't weed at all.
But what does it feel like that's different? Like when you from smoking weed to that, like what's the difference?
So what it felt like, it was like you sat back and everything seemed to just fade away that way. Like you were just sitting back and then all of a sudden you're just stuck.
Okay.
And you don't want to move and you just felt like it was just something comfortable.
I see.
But then when you try to be active with it, you're not you're moving too fast and you can collapse. My nephew had hit me in the back of my head one day. We're just chilling in a car driving, and thank God my glasses fell off, my sunglasses, and my nephew saw my eyes were rolled back. He had to pull over and hit me in the back of my head or slap me because he didn't know what to do. He's freaking out, he's crying. He's my little nephew, and he's seen his uncle in that, and that made me really want to stop because that shit scared him and it scared me because I didn't even know I was in that mode.
Exactly.
I thought I was in comfortable mode, but here I'm dying.
Dang,
So I was losing control in Lubbock.
Yeah, okay.
It started here.
Okay.
No, I lied. It started in Amarillo. I moved here and ended my relationship with my mother and my children.
Oh, really?
I went homeless, and then I moved back to my big brother, and then that's when I got into prison again.
Okay.
That was my second time going to prison. But this prison was more a redemption because it got me off that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have.
Right.
I had a gun in my possession. I'm a felon who was not supposed to.
Right.
But I was homeless.
Yeah.
Who knew what I could have done in that time frame?
Exactly. Yeah.
My time frame there was what they call desperate.
Yeah.
the bottom.
Yeah.
The rock bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
So what would I've done?
Yeah.
You know, so things like that has saved me. That opportunity to go into prison saved me.
How long was that prison stint?
It was 2.5 years.
How was it?
It sucked.
Yeah.
My first time, I could tell you all cool, funny things.
Really?
But the
Why
second
did this
time,
one suck?
Because I had children.
Oh, well, did you ask to join a prison gang or anything? Did that happen?
No, I was always run myself.
Yeah.
Because I found that was easier.
Yeah.
Because you have obligations.
That's right.
As a member.
So, Lee, I can imagine having to leave how old were your children at the time?
My children were 2.5.
How many?
I had twins.
Cool. You have twins?
I have twins. They're my broken heart.
Twin girls or boys?
They're boy and a girl. One.
Oh, cool.
My girl is oldest by 2 minutes. Her name is Raven, and my son's name is Draven.
Those are cool names.
Thank you.
Wow. And so it separated you from them, and what happened? Tell us about that. Go down that road with your children and having.
Okay, so me and my mother, my children, we met up in Amarillo while I was living with my older brother Hondo's house. Sorry, I'm seeing my speech impediment.
Yeah.
And so we started something, but it wasn't great, and we separated. She gives me a call telling me she's pregnant. And, you know, I fantasized for years to be a father.
Yeah.
I fantasized of being a dad.
Yeah.
And when I was incarcerated at these state boot camps, these CRTCs.
Yeah.
I hear these people talk about dads, how they're failing, how they're not there, or the ones who didn't give a damn being around their kids.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of men talk about they don't want to be their fathers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I want to be the best father I can be.
Yeah.
Before I even had kids.
Wow. Yeah.
And so when I had my kids, when she told me she was going to be pregnant by Sir, I said, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be for those kids.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to step up. And that's where my decision was. So I was with her for the whole pregnancy. I was there when the kids were born.
Yeah.
I was at the hospital.
Nice.
I was not that father that wasn't there.
Right. Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful because, you know, I got to give them the first bath when they come out.
Yeah.
I gave her their first bath. I forgot to clean my daughter's foot.
Oh, yeah?
So she's kicking the little incubator she was in. It's all blacked.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
She's crying.
Yeah.
Where's my dad?
Yeah.
Where's my brother? Actually, she's screaming out for her brother.
Yeah.
Brother over there sleeping. Where?
Yeah.
It's so cold.
Yeah.
So they're beautiful children.
Yeah.
You know, and for 2 years I was there and they loved me. At first Raven didn't care for me because she's like, dude, you're different than me. So I put her in a room between me and her and let her scream her head off until she realized, damn, this is the only dad I have. So after that, I
had a situation like that with my son. That's funny.
So
at first, he didn't know how to react to me, and I didn't either. It's hard at first, right, for a dad.
It is. And then I'm like, well, you're gonna have to face me, bro.
Right? This is all you got.
Yeah, this is all you got.
Yeah.
So she finally that, and she couldn't get away from me. She was always walking around me. Always.
Oh, really?
So after that, it was awesome. But then, so here's the tragic part: is that me and my mother, my children, we were not getting along. Okay, we had some altercations that were not fair for both of us.
Yeah.
We needed help.
Sure.
But we didn't seek it.
Yeah.
I took us in church. I put us in church to help us.
Good. Yeah.
But she didn't feel like it was the right environment, or not the church, but the surrounding.
I see. Okay.
So we moved to San Angelo to thinking it was going to be better for us.
Yeah.
I got a job at Lone Star.
Yeah.
She was going to be able to look for a church, and while I'm going to work.
Yeah.
I lost my job at Lone Star because I wasn't good enough. Granted. But now I'm struggling finding a job. I'm doing K2 as well. So she's not liking it. And
that's right. Yeah.
So she goes somewhere and I'm sitting out smoking K2. I see my daughter walking around with a can in her mouth, like daddy's.
Oh.
I'm realizing, my daughter's now seeing things that daddy does.
Yeah.
So I got rid of the can. No, daughter. Bad.
Wow. Yeah.
So
whoa.
She we had a big altercation that ended up me putting my hands on her.
Yeah.
She was having her little, I guess, bad day. She putting detergent on food, throwing food away because I'm smoking K2. There's
whoa.
I'm trying to stop her. She headbutts me. I overreact. I blacked out. I guess whatever I did was wrong.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I put my hands on her.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never put a hand on a woman before.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, you're taking responsibility for it. I like that.
And when I realized what I was doing, she's like, get off me. I was like, do whatever you got to do. Call the cops. And here I'm looking at the children. They're looking at me. She's outside. They're looking at me. And I'm like, oh, my God. I sit beside them. They're sad. And I told them, I don't know what I did, but I know this is probably the last time I see y'all. And I told them to miss me. That's all I want you to do right now is miss me. But I'm going to be there for you. And I'm trying. To this day, I'm trying. And it hurts because I wish this would end already. You know, I sometimes wish this all wake up and I'm have my kids in my life. I don't have these charges. But that's ADD because we're just thinking this is not real yet.
I know. Yeah.
And but it is. And it's dragged to 8-9 years now.
How old are they now?
They're 14. I get to see them, but now I have a vehicle. Good. I want to go see them, but my car is illegal.
Oh, yeah.
No stickers.
I get it, yeah.
And then the transmission's going out.
Yeah.
You know, but that's my life. And I don't want to complain because, you know, there's ways of getting out of it. But I procrastinate.
Yeah.
I hate procrastinating.
I know.
And it's putting me in behind a lot.
I get it, dude. Yeah.
So, but I struggle with these, and I'm still trying to struggle to be a real person, a normal person, right? To live. Yeah. You know. Yeah. Because I can't complain. I don't, like I told you. Yeah. I see people worse than me.
That's true. Yeah.
And I'm done pretty good for who I am. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm not nobody, you know. Yeah. But I don't even date women because I'm scared of dating women.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Because I keep losing. I got married once. I had a baby mama. I don't need those no more because they just gave me nothing but headaches. Yeah. But I love women. Yeah. I think I treat women right. Yeah. But that's a different story. That's everything. But for my mother and my children, to this day, I'm now recently, like the last couple of weeks, communicating with her. Really? She's saying she's turned a new leaf. Yeah. She's going to try to be a co-parenting.
What? That's great.
But I really want visitations.
Absolutely. That's the only thing that?
I don't know. Okay. I've been trying to fight that for 8 years.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not stable. I was never stable. Like I told you, I was homeless.
Yeah. You never have been.
2 years is my longest.
And you had no example of stability.
No.
You know?
You know, and it's my fault, but I was just going with the flow because I don't had anything. I didn't have a support team.
That's right. Yeah.
And you know, that's why I tell people that you have a support team. Baby, blessed.
Dude, right? I bet you have no idea how lucky you are to have parents and a support system, people who there's a safety net for when you fall. I don't have that, right? You don't have that. If you fall, it's on you. No one's coming to save you. No one's reaching out. Like, people don't understand what that's like. No. You know what I mean?
And then they say it's your fault. No, it's not my fault.
It's really not. To begin with, you had no choice. And you were never given an example.
I learned from an example, and then I learned what other people felt. I was a bad person, and you are a person who lives by your standards. Yeah. And my standard, we did not meet. We don't have a same standard, so we're not going to have eye to eye.
But I like that you're figuring it out, though, man. I mean, it took me a while to figure it out. The fact that it all comes down to your decisions. You have to take responsibility and make the change for it, which I feel like you're doing. And I know you get frustrated because I do too. You know, like, okay, it's been long enough. Like, when is this going to happen? You know, I get the same way, dude. But let me ask you this. What do you think is the next step for you? What's your next goal? Like, what are you working toward right now?
So my next goal is just to continually hold this stable build, this more than 3 years.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. I tell my sister that I have a 3-year curse. Because if you look at my life, everything happens within a 2-year period, and it's always 2 or 3 years. Yeah, it's never that. So I've looked at that, and I'm like, okay, I need to do something more than 3 years.
Yeah, I like that.
And if I can beat my own curse, because I feel like it's my mom's curse, but you know that's just
be like Benito. A generational thing. Yeah.
Well, I also thought that too, but you know, my sister don't have it. My 2 older brothers don't have it.
Let me share something with you that I saw today. This is fascinating. So there's this experiment that's done where they have a bunch of fleas, like, I don't know, 1,000 fleas, right? And they're jumping around, and they put them in a jar, and they close the lid of the jar, and the fleas are jumping, right? And they start hitting the top of the jar as they're jumping. Well, they leave them there for 3 days, walk away, and then they come back, and they open the lid of the jar, put the lid to the side, and the fleas have learned that they can't jump higher than the level of the lid because they keep hitting their head. So with the lid off, they'll never jump out. In fact, they dump the jar of fleas out, and the fleas still make the shape of the jar. They all stay together, and they still just continue to jump that height. And so generational trauma is the same way. It's passed down like that, they think. That whatever you experience, your kids, it's passed down to your kids in a way. So generational curses and trauma, that's a real thing. But they can be broken too.
They can. And I think that's what I'm doing, is making sure my children don't have to go through so much. I mean, unfortunately, my worst regret is not being there. I've always wanted to be a father. I thought I could have been like the Roseanne Barr's husband.
Yeah. John Goodman.
Tim Allen character.
Tim Allen, yeah.
Those characters were my example of being a father, you know? Because I think that's who I would have been.
Yeah.
But, I lost my train of thought because I just thought about how being a good father.
Yeah.
But, dang, I lost my train of thought.
That's all right. So, but don't you feel like you can still do that? There's still time.
I want to. I mean, I'm at an age, I'm about to be 50. I'm like 2 years away from that.
That's all right. Yeah.
And I really I wanted that little fun part.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love my children.
Yeah.
They're 14. They can still come see me. Yeah. They can be at 17, 18 now, and they'll probably come visit me.
Yeah.
And then I can teach them how to be an adult.
That's right.
The thing I'm going to miss is that little part.
I know.
Being the fun part. Being the exciting person. Dude, it hurts right now. Just think about it.
That's such a fun part.
And that's the part I wanted, because I wanted to prove different.
I see.
But, it didn't happen. And do I want that? Yes, extremely.
Yeah.
I mean, let me go find a girl who has a baby and just be with her for a while. Take care of her.
It could absolutely. Anything like that could happen.
But, I have to fall in love now.
You do. You got to give it a chance, man.
I don't think I know what. I don't know what love is no more.
Yeah, I know.
I can try to love somebody, but I don't think I'm gonna give them what I've understood love on TV and radio, music, and everything says what love is. Yeah, I don't know that love. I know godly love.
Well, that's all you need.
That's the only love I have.
Yeah, that's all you need.
But that's my godly love is even for everyone.
Yeah,
I can't love a woman personally.
Here's what I think. I think it comes down to you and whoever you're with. I think your experiences and your history and everything makes you who you are. And when you find somebody to where that all matches and everything you've been through, y'all become equal in a way of, in a sense. You have this like love bubble, right? And it's like a nonverbal agreement that happens between you and your partner where it's like you both agree on, okay, this is what love should be. This is what it feels like. You don't speak about it. You don't make like a handshake on it, but it's agreed upon. And I feel like where a lot of relationships break down is over the course of however long, a year or two, one partner, usually one before the other, stops giving that love to the other person for whatever reason. And that person's like, wait a second, we agreed on this. Non-verbally, they're saying that, by lashing out. They're like, hey, this isn't what love's supposed to be. You know what I mean? So I guess the bottom line is what I'm saying is even if you feel like you don't know how to give that love or the movie type love, I think it just comes down to finding the right person who, as long as y'all both agree, hey, this is what we need and this is what love should be for us, that's all that matters.
Well, I had a wife and my baby mama. These are the only two relationships I will use any kind for a relationship for me because they're the ones that mattered.
Yeah.
Okay, and the wife is because, we started out as a love relationship, actually.
Yeah.
And, then it became something totally not love at all.
Yeah.
And more of protection from her and her family.
Wow.
Because her mom and dad were very rich, evil, conniving people.
Okay.
But she needed to have someone to soften the blow in her relationship because she has kids.
Yeah. And
we got married because of that. So they can't get mad at me being with her. And we were in love, like I said, at first, but it just died out the time we got married. Yeah. So it wasn't really not love, but it was a relationship. We treated it as a relationship. Mm-hmm. We backed up each other. We were cool to the end.
Yeah, okay.
But her parents were really just...
I see. What about you and your baby mama? That wasn't real love?
It wasn't love. I think after 3 or 4 weeks with her, trying to be in her life, she didn't want it. This is my opinion, of course.
Yeah.
And I misread. I read like she didn't want to be there. She didn't want to be in my life no more. I didn't know what to do. You know, I don't know. I went to ADAC actually the first time with her when I was with her.
Okay.
To show her that I'm willing to get out of this addiction that she was talking about, that K2.
Yeah.
All right. And she didn't believe me. And then like a week later, that incident happened where I went to jail. I got my first family violence against her. You know, I did 47 days in jail and I feel regret. And I was hoping to come back into our relationship. No, she burned off to Odessa.
Yeah.
And, you know, I couldn't go over there. She had a 5,000 feet, whatever, restraining order on me.
Yeah.
And from there on, I just continued letting my addiction get the worst of me. Mm-hmm. And I guess it was a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when I went to prison.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. I see.
So when I came back out in 2016, I was trying to reach out to her, saying, look, I'm out. I'm in here in Abilene now. Mm-hmm. She's in Odessa. Let me get back in her life. Let me try to put this relationship back together. She refused it.
Oh.
She threw it right in the dirt right there and then. And since then, like I said, I've been trying to fight just to be in this kid's life.
Ever since then, yeah.
You know?
Well, what would you tell people, the audience, anybody who's watching, who feels maybe hopeless, like they're stuck in hopelessness, where they feel there's no way out, things are never going to get better, there's no hope for them. What do you say to people like that?
Well, the first thing you have to know is that you're broken. So that means you can't be broken anymore.
Man.
And so that means now you've been at the bottom.
Yeah.
You just got to get on your knees now. And you got to talk to your faith.
That's right.
Talk to your power.
Yes.
Talk to whoever is there you feel in your heart.
That's good.
And you reach out to them and just say, okay, I gave up. I did my path.
That's right. Surrender.
And then move on.
Yeah.
And let things come about for you. For me, I struggled for so long that I didn't think I was getting help.
Yeah.
But it was just pushing me along. Like my probation, like I told you, I sucked at it. By the time I got through the CRTC program, the time I got through the LCCF program, boot camp, my probation had already been finished.
Whoa. Yeah.
Because I was eating my time.
Yeah.
So I had a 4-year probation, or I had a 6-year probation. So during the whole entire 6-year probation, I was in those incarcerations and ate my probation. So God was just pushing me along the side, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when I was in the streets, when I was a Salvation Army, when I was living on, you know, out in the woods.
Yeah. Wow.
I was being protected because I didn't get eaten by wolves.
Did you live at the 14th Street homeless camp for a while?
Where?
14th Street, 16th Street?
No, I always lived here in San Angelo with Salvation Army or certain other spots that I lived by myself.
Oh, by yourself. Okay.
Yeah, I never lived on Tent City or anything like that.
Oh, okay. So what about, so having gone through all that, man, I mean, what do you feel grateful about? Like, give me 3 things that you're really genuinely grateful for in your life right now.
Seeing the people on the streets, I'm really grateful for the surrounding of them, because they humbled me enough to know that I can get on my feet.
Yeah.
They may be lost and we can sit here and talk and have great talks.
Yeah.
But that day he happy and I'm leaving with some knowledge knowing that there's still hope for me.
Yeah.
Because, he's bad. I know that I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
And I can be better. And I wish I can help him to be with me.
Right.
And then that another person can be as worse. And as long as we talk and he's feeling better about himself.
Yeah.
And forgets about everything. And I'm in his presence. I feel so great because they are so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
They're so help me humble myself when I get around homeless people.
Yeah.
And they are so good people. And it sucks that some of them just don't want to be out here or we're doing the social life.
Yeah.
Because they don't want it no more. They get tired of getting pushed around. They get tired of getting beaten up. Mm-hmm. I'm not that person. I get beat up every day at work.
Yeah.
People make fun of me every day at work. But I have to go.
Yeah.
And with the 3 things you said?
Yeah, so that's one.
Okay. What was the question again?
What are you grateful for?
What I'm grateful for? I'm grateful, again, the people that are making it, because some of those people has come into my life and has told me that what you're doing is okay, because I didn't know what I am.
Yeah.
I don't know who I am. And when they say you're okay, we like who you are. Be you.
Yeah.
So those people have helped me be who
That's
I
great.
am.
Yeah. Mentors and foster parents, like you were saying in the beginning.
They're only, how you say, they're not here all the time.
Yeah.
There are only moments in my life.
Yeah.
I didn't have a consistent one.
Right.
But when they came in my life, it was when I need them in my life.
And then one more thing, yeah.
Being a Christian.
Cool. Yeah,
because
your faith.
Ever since I was baptized as a child at 13, my life has always been with him.
Nice.
I know he's been in my life, and I know that no matter what I've done, he has put in certain people.
Yeah.
That I'm really grateful that have come in jail. There's some inmates that just, my God, they shouldn't have been there.
Right.
But they're good people.
Yeah.
And I learned that, no matter where you're at, as long as you have a good heart.
Yeah.
And good intentions, and you put God first.
Yeah, that's good.
That, things were going to be okay, no matter what level of life I wanted to be a productionist. I wanted to be on productions. I wanted to do community. I can't speak right now. My speech impediment work. Sorry.
You're good.
I wanted to do film.
Yeah.
I went to theater. I graduated as thespian. Communication degree was one I wanted. Definitely.
Yeah.
And it stopped me,
Yeah.
And from there on, I was didn't care. I tried suicide twice in my lifetime.
Wow.
One time, almost succeeded, but my brothers, they're the ones that stopped me.
Yeah.
And ever since then, that's why I vowed that they're my brothers. They're, another female friend here in town stopped me when I was in Arlington, and COVID was about to happen. I was ready to end it then. But she talked me out a bit.
Yeah, that's never the solution.
And I was grateful for that.
Yeah.
So,
dude, well, keep fighting, dude. Keep fighting.
Oh, I am.
You're doing the right thing, And thank you, dude, for doing this.
Thank
for real.
you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
This was great. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Benito, for coming in, for telling your story. Remember, guys, there's always time to make a change. It's never too late. If you're still 6 foot above ground and you're breathing,